I can't even front. Barbara was actually cooking this episode. Abbott blessed us with a holiday special. Once again, this is shaping up to be the best season of the series. So let's talk about it. And spoilers if you aren't up to date with Abbott Elementary. I enjoyed watching Janine bond with the step team in the cold open. Love a good callback. And if you remember, Janine and Ava started the step team in like season 2. They never actually respected Janine. I did think it was crazy that Janine thought that these children would know Run DMC. I think that would be a stretch to ask a teenager or a young adult if they knew that song. Unless they're from New York, I don't know. Love seeing the absolute horror on these girls' faces when Janine would like dance or be super nerdy. Respect her, but she embarrasses them. Y'all know how I feel about Barbara. I gotta say, these 2 episodes, I loved her. Crazy because Barbara's arc for the last 4 seasons has been how she doesn't like change. Finally, Barbara sees the value in accepting change. Because she was right. There are students who aren't Christian and can't celebrate Christmas. It's not right for this adorable little, where did they find this little hijabi? She's so cute. Sorry, got distracted, but it's not right that she doesn't get to participate in the winter festivities because they want to focus on Christmas. Not a Christian school. Why are they still doing it? And honestly, the pivot didn't seem that hard. Maybe it's a testament to how good the team is at Abbott. But this was a necessary change that should have happened way before the preparations. I'm sad that it had to take a little girl being ostracized for them to realize that maybe they should be more inclusive. But they're not perfect. They acknowledged it and they pivoted it with no problem. Because they knew Barbara was right. Normally when Barbara's wilding, they'll talk bad to her. They'll tell her like, hey, get it together. In this instance, he made a crazy request. Let's change this show in like one day. And they all accommodated her because they were like, you know what? You're spinning. We should have been did this. You're first introduced to Jacob's brother. I was like, how could he be the golden child? He's so ditzy and chaotic. After I saw him interact with the rest of the team at Abbott, I realized that he's a chameleon. Takes on the personality of whoever he's interacting with, which is why everyone loves him, including me. By the end of the 2nd episode, I was like, I hope this boy is a series regular. Get him a job at Abbott as the PE teacher. These 2 look like brothers. I don't know if the casting directors had a conference recently or what's going on. Every show I've been watching, family actually looks like family, and I enjoy that. They even have like the same type of ears. I just thought that these 2 men look so much alike. And I think what also added to that was it felt like they were from the same place. We felt for Jacob and his unrequited rivalry with his brother. I have an older sister, and I have to say, it is hard. I was glad that they were able to reconcile because the next episode at Melissa's house, these 2 were so funny. It was as if they were brothers in real life. Like the way that they kind of bounced off each other, their energy, the way that they attacked the miscommunication trope with Jacob walking in on him talking during that podcast. So well done. Because when you heard it in full context, you're like, oh, he was being kind. And it actually reflected on how this man feels. But it was easy to understand why he would misinterpret it his way. Go ahead, Ava. I love this IT guy. And he seems like the kind of person who understands who Ava is and doesn't want to change her. In fact, he likes her. And he's able to kind of sift through that entire facade and see that Ava's actually a very caring person. And he says it out loud to her. I love how after she finished macking and she saw that the cameras caught it, her face went to this. You can't let them catch you slacking. Some people gonna think she's soft. You know what I'm saying? Like, I felt her here. Really understood the anxiety that Melissa felt hosting her family. It's very difficult when you're interacting with family members who have an idea of what your life should be like. Your closest family members, like your mother, are so incredibly good at poking at your insecurities. Never give you grace. Writing here was so good. Like, I was upset for Melissa. Her sister saying like, why aren't you dressed yet? Oof, I felt it. I really felt it. Or when they were like, oh, you changed your makeup? Get out. Don't piss me off. This part is, when you check them on it, they're just like, oh, we're trying to ask questions. We're genuinely curious. You know how you sound. Being shady. We'll say, as scared as Melissa was to confront her family members, she had no problem kicking out her racist uncle. I loved the way that they reacted to this man when he was being racist towards Barbara and her husband. Because a lot of white people in this situation would have been like, oh, you know, he's old. It's hard to change it. We don't feel that way. But they were quick to validate Barbara's experience and be like, yeah, he's being racist. And he tried to like go and sit down. She said, no, you can't eat with us. Go upstairs. I said this in my last review, but Melissa and Jacob are such great allies. You can tell that they genuinely care about their black friends, comfortable around them. Even when Melissa talked to Greg and was like, you need a haircut, something that a white woman would say if she was comfortable with a black man. I tell you, Barbara was a joy for both episodes. Love that her husband went home with 6 plates. It got cut off in the screenplay, but there was like 2 more under that stack. But what I found the most endearing was that Barbara was a rider for Melissa. She found out that homeboy was dead upstairs. She first referred to Melissa like, what's the plan? Melissa said, we're not doing anything. She said, bet. Let's go get these cannolis. That's what I'm talking about. Support me. We're besties. Ian and Greg are cute, and I love this ongoing thing about them loving movies together. There's not much I can say about this B plot, except for the fact that Ava and Janine are becoming very close friends. And the fact they got Keith David to play Ava's father. I definitely thought they were going to drop the L word, especially since Greg put on that stupid onesie. We'll see it another day. Absolutely love these episodes. At this point, I'm just comparing episodes of season 4 to each other. I'm going to go ahead and give the Christmas special 4 out of 5 Frankie Flames.